Alright, welcome back to another episode of Talking Sports with your boy DP. And this your boy DP here with you, y'all, you feel me? We finna get into them picks, man. Yeah, the week 8 picks. I'm here with you, man. It's finna be a big weekend, you feel me? Week 8 of college football, you dig? But who gonna make some surprises? Who gonna turn up? Who gonna do what it do this week? Who gonna show us who the best team in college football is? Because somebody got a chance this weekend and we're going to talk about them. But with that being said, I'm 11-5 on the season with my picks. And to give y'all an understanding of how I'm doing these picks, I'm picking the team to win, you feel me? I'm not necessarily going against the spread. Well, I might mention the spread or whatnot while I'm talking about these teams, but I'm more so picking the outright winner, just to give y'all a little heads up. So I'm 11-5 when it comes to that, you feel me? So, with that being said, first thing first, the first game we're going to talk about, say it like that. We're going to talk about the Miami Hurricanes. It's all about the U, baby. Let's go. Coming in number 6 in the nation. 6-0. First time since 2017. Going up against Louisville. They going to Louisville, Kentucky to play the 4-2 Louisville, man. They lost against Notre Dame. They lost against SMU, you feel me? And I think they want to bounce back. I feel like they just won their last game. It was a hard-fought battle against Virginia. So we're going to see what them boys do, man. Miami coming in this game a 4.5 or 4.5 point favorite. Let's say it like that's the proper way to say it. A 4.5 point favorite. I'm always talking about this 0.5 and all that bullshit. But yeah, 4.5 point favorite. Now, honestly, I want my Canes to go out there and put up a better performance than winning by 4 points or 3 points. I'm tired of seeing these close games with the Hurricanes, you feel me? I need my Canes to go out there and dominate, to take over this game and make a statement. If you make a statement for yourself, you feel me? Put a stamp on that number 6 that's by y'all name at this point, and try to get that thing to go up higher. The number 3, number 4, number 2, hell, number 1 if we can. But let's dominate. Let's play dominate football that we can do, Canes. You feel me? Y'all got the number 1 offense in the nation right now, averaging 583 total yards per game, 400 passing, 183 rushing yards per game, and coming in this game averaging 47 points per game. My Canes out there getting busy on offense, but they gotta eliminate, you feel me, the mistakes, the turnovers, you feel me? And it ain't a big amount, but the turnovers that do happen, they're big because they set the other teams up in good position to score, you feel me, and make plays. What else I want to say about McCain's, man? McCain's defense, they coming in this game allowing 282 yards per game, giving up 192 passing, and we stopping that run, Mr. Isaac Brown. Shout out to Isaac Brown though, man. You know he from Florida. But the Canes only giving up 89 yards per game and allowing 18 points per game. Number 1 defense in the ACC. Now the last 2 games, man, the Canes defense been looking kind of shaky. Let's just be honest, man. We got to get a better performance out of the Canes defense this game. I kind of want to see, you feel me, a mixture of zone and man to try to keep a little bit of them big plays, you feel me, under wraps. We can't have all them big plays left and right because Louisville going to kill us if we allow them to get these big plays. The coach Brom over there at Louisville, he is a mastermind. I went to the game last year when Louisville came to Miami. I went there, I was live in the flesh. We were supposed to have that game, but what I will say, the offensive coordinator at Louisville and Coach Brom was cooking. They was scheming up some beautiful plays, and I couldn't get mad at them from the stuff that they was doing. They took advantage of our aggressiveness last year, and we got to watch for that stuff. We got to watch for these screens. We got to watch for these tight ends sneaking up out the backfield and all this bull crap. We got to watch for that. We got to nominate. We got to stay disciplined. Honestly, Coach Guidry, just let our 4D linemen, feel me, go ham. We shouldn't even really have to blitz that much this game. If you want to blitz every blue moon. But for this game, let our defensive linemen just work. Go to work and eat, you feel me? Let our DBs play pass coverage and focus on pass coverage. Because I don't want them guys coming up, giving up big plays like they did against Cal, like they did against Virginia Tech, you feel me? So we got to tighten up on that. My boy Cam Ward, he coming into this game with 2,219 passing yards, 20 touchdowns, 5 INTs on the season, 28 carries, 161 rushing yards, and 3 rushing TDs. Now, mind you, Miami defense also gonna come in this game hungry. I just mentioned the D-line, let the D-lineman eat. We're coming in this game with 20 sacks on the season. So let them D-linemen eat, man. And it ain't only the D-linemen getting sacked. We got, safeties, linebackers getting sacked also. But like I was just saying before, I feel like we can get a lot of pressure with our 4D linemen. We got Ruben Bain, we got Simeon Barrow, we got Hakeem Mesidor, Tyler Barron. We got, I think, Elijah Austin coming back. And we got some more depth behind them guys, get them guys breaks. But I would just rush for majority of this game, you feel me, take advantage of that. But speaking of Louisville coming in this game averaging 461 yards per game. Told you these guys are explosive. They know how to make big plays and take advantage of them. If we allow them and let them get them big plays we did Cal and we did Virginia Tech, it's going to be ugly for us. I'm just letting you know that right now. Because these guys are going to take advantage of the explosive plays if we allow them to get those. But they're coming into this game averaging 291 yards passing per game and 170 rushing per game, averaging 36 points per game with the 5th best offense in the ACC. Now defense, they coming in here. Now defense been a little iffy with Louisville, especially their secondary. They secondary have not been able to cover that well lately this season. And when I'm saying that, the reason I pause a little bit, I'm trying to collect my thoughts real quick. I don't want to just say nothing wild or say nothing crazy. But like I was finna say, with Louisville secondary not being that good, I hope Cam can take advantage of that and just eat them up, rip them apart, air their ass out all game long. You feel me? Don't cut them no slack. Cause they good, they pretty decent against the run. They giving up 170 rushing yards per game, and we average 183. So we can take advantage of that also a little piece. Cause I don't think Louisville faced the offensive line as good as ours this season, and they damn sure ain't faced the defensive line as good as ours this season. So we're gonna have to see how this thing match up. If the Canes play discipline and play disciplined football, stick to their assignments and stop trying to play all that damn hero ball. They was trying to play, everybody trying to make the play instead of letting the man that the play coming to make the play, and y'all just do y'all job and all heads to the football after that. Then maybe, you feel me, we can dominate, blow these boys out. But do not take these guys lightly just because they lost 2 games. Because everybody come out here and play the Miami Hurricanes like it's the national championship game. It is like they don't have no mistake, no miscues, no blown coverage. They just out there looking like the greatest team ever in college football when they decide to come play against the Canes for some reason. What else I got here, man? Yeah, the defense allowing 336 total yards per game, giving up 216 passing yards and giving up 119 rushing yards, allowing 19 points per game. Tyler Shug, 1,674 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, 3 INTs. But one thing, when you put pressure on Tyler, he's liable to make a mistake, man. You get in his face, you put that pressure on him, you keep him rattled, you keep him to the point where he can't think about what he's looking at out there on that defense. We have a good chance of dominating this game. And I also got to mention Jacory Brooks, man, another Florida native. 30 receptions on the season, 572 yards, and 6 touchdowns on the season, man. And he's a deep threat, man. He's a big playmaker. He's out there making these plays left and right for Louisville. But like I just told you, man, if Miami come out here, play disciplined football, and handle business, this should be an easy win. But you come out here playing like you played against Virginia Tech, California, you're definitely going to lose. And I hate to say that for my Canes. So you go out there, take care of business, handle business. Hopefully the team meeting, the player meeting, the player-led meeting, that is in y'all mental, that's in y'all mindset, whatever y'all talked about. Hopefully y'all talked about the stuff that y'all need to get this thing back, the motion, to get this thing back looking like how it was looking when we played Florida. You feel me? Do y'all need somebody to piss y'all off or something? I don't know. But With that being said, let's get to the next game, man. The next game I want to talk about. We got Nebraska going up against Indiana. I never thought I would have been covering Indiana, to be honest with you. But Indiana out here balling this year, you feel me? Shot calling 28 Blaze on the Impala. You know the song, dog. But Indiana coming in this thing 6-0 on the year, ranked number 16 in the nation, going up against Nebraska 5-1. Now, Nebraska, I feel like this is going to be a tough one for y'all. Even though Indiana haven't played much competition, they whooped everybody they played. They've been putting the smack down on everybody's ass that come out there on that grass trying to play against the Indiana. I want to say they name Hoosiers, but if I can't think of the mascot name, I'm just calling them the University of Indiana just to give them some respect. They deserve it this year. Them boys been out there playing some football. But Nebraska coming into this game averaging 381 total yards of offense per game, 244 passing, 136 rushing, averaging 28 points per game. Defense allowing 272 yards per game, giving up 188 passing, and giving up 184 rushing, allowing 11 points per game. Now, what I want to say before I get to the Indiana stats and before I talk about Dylan Raiola and so on and so forth, what I want to say, this might be a bad matchup for Nebraska. Nebraska, one of their weaknesses, they don't handle the RPO game that good. They have one of the lower percentages defending the RPO game, and Indiana executing the RPO game at a high percentage. They are one of the highest teams when running they run the RPO at a very high successful level. Let's just put it that way. They have one of the best ratings while running the RPO in the offense. You feel me? In the NCAA. I probably said that wild, crazy, whatever, but you get my drift. You get what I'm saying. They one of the best when it comes to running that RPO. Indiana is not playing this year. Indiana is also a 6.5 point favorite this game, dog. Offense averaging 515 total yards per game, 315 passing yards per game. They out there slinging that rock, and 200 rushing yards per game. I told you, Indiana been kicking ass this season, dog. First ranked offense in the Big Ten. Who would have seen that coming? Who would have said coming into this year, Indiana would have had the first ranked offense and the Big Ten? But what I will say too about Indiana, though, their defense is very, very lackluster when it comes to playing man, and they play a lot of zone at Indiana University on that football team. But here's the thing, Dylan Raiola, he is elite when it comes to playing against zone coverages. And if you're not playing that much, he have a tough time against man. But if you playing zone, Dylan Raiola is likely to have a good day. Dylan Raiola, 1,358 passing yards on the year, 9 touchdowns, 3 interceptions. Now, he got a lot of, I want to say he got negative 78 rushing yards. So that tells me he's been getting sacked a lot this year. So are they going to be able to clean it up against Indiana? Because Indiana was kind of hot right now. They're on a little hot streak. They're coming out there greedy. They got some guys from James Madison. I think the head coach was from James Madison. And he's got Indiana looking like a different squad out there this year. But, too, Nebraska also have a very good D-line. These teams are kind of evenly matched. But I'm giving Indiana the edge. And, y'all, I ain't picked for the last game, man. Louisville, y'all know I'm picking the Canes, so it ain't no need for me to say that. It's all about you. But let's back to this game, just in case anybody was wondering why I ain't say who I was picking for the Louisville and Miami game. I'm picking the Canes, duh. But back to the script. Yeah, man, they got Indiana coming this thing as a 6.5 point favorite, man. Indiana defense is allowing 255 yards per game, giving up 171 passing, giving up 83 rushing, only allowing 14 points per game. Now, Curtis Rourke, Hopefully I said my man name right, because, I be messing up these names, but it is what it is. On the season with 1,752 passing yards, 14 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. And Elijah Surratt, wide receiver for Indiana, with 29 receptions on the season, 513 receiving yards, 2 touchdowns, and 17.7 yards per catch. Now, who am I going to pick this game? I'm going to be real with you, man. I feel like Indiana going to end this thing 7-0. I'm going to go with the veteran quarterback. I'm going to go with the explosive offense. I see these guys can put up numbers. Like, they haven't really played much competition, but the competition they played, they smacked. This will be a test for Indiana now, don't get me wrong. But I feel like they'll cover the 6.5 points. And I feel like they will win. So I'm taking Indiana. I'm taking the veteran quarterback, because Curtis Rourke, however you say my boy name is. I apologize if I'm messing it up. But the young man is a baller. The young man looked elite. He looked like how he was looking when he was at Ohio, because he was transferred from over there. I want to say he was at Ohio in 2022, and the man was just lights out. And now he brought that same swagger to Indiana. Now, can he be Superman and take Indiana deep into this Big Ten championship conversation? That's to be seen. But the start of it will be this game. So, like I just said, man, I'm picking Indiana, and I'm picking Indiana to cover the 6.5, man, with 6.5 points, man. Let me get a water break. A water break, dog. I'm gonna choke myself on the water. Good God. But here we have some big dogs coming up to the table. Some big dogs coming up to the stage. We got the away team coming at number 5 in the nation, 5-1. Georgia, we all the time in Georgia, not on my mind, but Georgia, the Georgia Bulldogs, 5-1 on the season, number 5 ranked team, the 5th ranked team in the country. I'm talking number 5 on the team. I don't know, I'm all over the place, but hey, rock out with your boy. Versus the number 1 team in the nation, 6-0. Down here in the Lone Star State of Texas. The stars at night are big and bright here in the heart of Texas. Texas versus Georgia. Texas, well, you done had you a little nice little cakewalk to this point. You ain't really get to play no elite quarterback for the most part. You ain't really getting to play nobody to test your defense. You ain't really played nobody to test your offense to see how you fare against some of the upper echelon competition. But this game, my friend, we're gonna see what Texas is made out of, baby. We gonna see if Texas is who Texas say they are this season. I've been seeing a lot of Texas fans on Twitter saying they're the best team in the SEC. They're finna win the SEC, no problem. I've been seeing a lot of people in the media saying they're finna win the SEC, no problem. It's gonna be good for them, easy for them. Texas is the best team in the nation. I looked at this from starting here to the rest of Texas' schedule. If they go undefeated from this point to the end, to the rest of their regular season schedule, Texas will be the number 1 team in the nation, because they finna be tested the rest of the season. The rest of the season, baby, they finna get tested. Listen, this is finna be a welcome to the SEC game right here. We got Georgia coming in this game, averaging 452 total yards per game. 318 passing, 134 rushing, and 33 points per game. Georgia defense allowing 312 yards per game. I don't really like that. Kind of ugly. That ain't a normal Georgia defense we used to see him. Giving up 192 passing, giving up 120 rushing, and allowing 17 points per game. Now, Carson Beck, this is your chance, young man, to get some of that respect back, to get some of that swagger back, some of that moxie back that I know you got. This is your chance to show the world that you're still Carson Beck, and God darn it, you still him. On the season, Carson Beck has 1,818 passing yards, 15 touchdowns, and 5 INTs. And it looked like he found him a go-to guy, a target that he feels comfortable with. Arian Smith, wide receiver from Georgia, 23 receptions on the year, 412 yards, 3 touchdowns, 7.9 yards per catch. So Carson Beck, will you step up to the plate and let these Texas Longhorns know that you in the SEC now, baby? You ain't gonna cakewalk you behind to the Big 12 championship, but cakewalk you behind through the Big 12. This is the SEC, baby. We gonna see how tough he is around here. Now, even though the Bulldogs gotta go to Texas, it's gonna be a good battle. It's gonna be a hard-fought battle. So we got Texas coming in this thing, a 5-point favorite. Now, I'm gonna tell you right now, they got Texas a 5-point favorite, not 1.5, not 2.5, not 3.5, not even 4.5. They got Texas a 5. Y'all think Texas is gonna beat Georgia by at least 5 points or more? The disrespect. Kirby Smart, I hope you seen this spread they got here for you. Kirby Smart, I hope you show your players this. They disrespecting y'all, man. They thinking because y'all had a little battle with Mississippi State that y'all ain't Georgia Bulldogs. They thinking because y'all done lost to Alabama and it looked ugly for y'all in the first half that Texas finna go out here and do the same thing to y'all. I don't think that whatsoever, buddy. But Texas offense coming in here, averaging 495 total yards per game, 306 passing, 188 rushing, and 43 points per game. Second best offense in the SEC. Texas defense allowing 229 yards per game, giving up 126 passing, and giving up 103 rushing, allowing 6 points per game. The first best defense in the SEC. Well, the first ranked defense in the SEC. I'm talking about first best. The first ranked defense in the SEC. Say that correctly. Now, Quentin Ewers, he just not coming back. You feel me? He last game was his first game back, I want to say, from injury. So his numbers look a little, skewed because he was out. But as of now, Quentin Ewers have 890 yards on the season, 9 touchdowns, and 3 interceptions. Now, I don't know if this is going to be the game that Quentin Ewers is going to be able to take his time and get his rhythm back and get his blood flowing back and be that leader that I know he can be. Because I know Quentin Ewers is a baller. He can ball. He can play some good football. But is this a big game that came a little too soon after he's coming back from his injury? Because you never know. Everybody's hurt, especially at this point in college football. But how hurt is he? And then, to my point, Georgia has to put pressure on Quentin Ewers. Georgia has to get more pressure this year. I want to say Georgia only got about 11 total sacks on the year as a team on defense. Now, usually at this point, you'll see Georgia dominating a little bit more than that. But Georgia plays some good competition, so you feel me? I ain't mad at them. But yeah, man. We also got my boy Isaiah Bond, 21 receptions, 369 yards, 3 touchdowns, and 17.7 yards per catch. Now, mind you, I don't think Isaiah Bond is going to be that big of a factor this game. Because I feel like the Georgia DBs felt disrespected the way Ryan Williams did him every which way he wanted, 17-year-old. So I feel like they got to get some get back and shut somebody down. And I also got to give a shout out to Texas linebacker Anthony Hill Jr. coming into this game with 42 tackles on the year, 4.5 sacks, 1 interception, and 1 forced fumble. Now, who am I picking this game? I'm going with UGA, baby. I'm going with Georgia. And I feel like Georgia can cover the 5 points. I feel like the nation is disrespecting Georgia right now, and they ain't showing them no respect. I'm going with Georgia with the upset. And that's just what it is, baby. I ain't finna say go Dogs, go Canes. I just got respect for Georgia, but I ain't finna say all that go Dogs and this, that, and the third. You feel me? It's go Canes over here. Now, last but not least, the last game I want to talk about, game I feel like, because you feel me, the only reason I'm saying Georgia versus Texas is an upset because Georgia number 5, Texas number 1. But really, both of those teams, you feel me, can compete with each other nonetheless. But I feel like Georgia gonna get them. But to this game, I'm finna talk about, which I want to say, I feel like it's gonna be the upsets this week. It's Notre Dame coming in at number 12 on the nation, 5-1 against Georgia Tech, 5-2. Now, Notre Dame and Georgia Tech, these two teams, to me, honestly, I feel like they're similar teams. Like, they mirror each other to an extent. Other than, I would say Notre Dame has the better offensive line. One could say that. And maybe the better D-line. You feel me? But besides that, the offense, pretty much the same. Maybe Georgia Tech got a better passing quarterback, though. But both quarterbacks can use their feet. And both quarterbacks can get busy. But Notre Dame offense coming into this game, averaging 400 total yards per game, 184 passing, 216 rushing, 35 points per game. And me looking at, some of the statistics that they're averaging coming in this game of offense, I'm surprised more teams haven't been able to come up with a game plan to stop them more. They're going to come out here and run the ball. But a lot of the teams Notre Dame played, the talent that they have on their team, I guess it outdid the talent that the other team had. It was way better than the talent the other team had for the most part, other than when they lost against Northern Illinois. Which, honestly, they probably shouldn't have lost that. They probably shouldn't have lost that game. They just probably went out there, underestimated those guys, and look what it got. Look what it got you, 5-1. But Notre Dame defense allowing 270 yards per game, giving up 148 passing, giving up 121 rushing, and allowing 11 points per game. Now that boy Riley Leonard, 979 passing yards, 6 touchdowns, 2 INTs, 65 carries, 405 rushing yards, 8 touchdowns, 6.2 yards per carry. Let me get a water break. Now, Riley Leonard, I feel like the Georgia Tech defense always, let me say it this way before I finna say, I feel like the Georgia Tech defense has a good chance of getting a good look at a quarterback your style in practice because they see one every day. Hayes King is damn near the same. Hayes King and Riley Leonard is damn near the same person. Only Hayes King can throw better. He's a better passer. He's a better he can drop back and get you some yards with his arm more efficiently than Riley Leonard can. Let's put it that way. So I feel like Georgia Tech can be prepared to play against Riley Leonard and this Notre Dame offense. I really do. I feel like Georgia Tech can take them. But Jeremiah Love, coming in this game with 63 carries, 426 yards on the season, 6 touchdowns, and 6.8 yards per carry. But yeah, man, I feel like Georgia could really handle Notre Dame and compete with them. They got Notre Dame 12 points favorite in this game. That is entirely too high. Because mind you, I don't have no trust that Notre Dame is just going to run all over Georgia. Even though Georgia, they're giving up, let's say, Georgia Tech only giving up 103 rushing yards per game. So I don't think they're going to be able to just run all over Georgia Tech like they think they're going to come in there and do. And the game's away. They got to go to Atlanta. You feel me? And face the phone. So, but let me talk about Georgia Tech offensive statistics. You feel me? While I'm at it. Georgia Tech offense coming in here averaging 444 total yards per game, 240 passing, and 204 rushing. Very, very balanced attack. And really, Georgia Tech, for the most part, the reason they're 5-2, a lot of times they stood in their own way. And they had a very bad game against Syracuse, feel me? They came back in the end and make it look good, but the start of that game was horrible. And then when they played against Louisville, they could have won that game, but they was in their own way a lot too. So if Georgia Tech can get out their own way, they can win this game. And to be honest with you, I'm picking Georgia Tech to win this game. You feel me? I'm picking them outright. I'm picking for the outright win for Georgia Tech. And Georgia Tech averaging 32 points per game. So you got a balanced attack and you can score the ball. Georgia Tech defense allowing 327 yards per game. That's the only thing I don't like. But it's because their secondary is not all that. The secondary, well, I'm going to just say Georgia Tech defense allowing 223 passing yards per game, which that's bad. It ain't good at all. But hey, man, it's Georgia Tech. They having a pretty decent year this year. Nobody expected Georgia Tech to be 5-2 at this point. Nobody expected Georgia Tech to whoop Florida State and Ireland. So Georgia Tech could be full of surprises, and I think this is going to be a surprise for Notre Dame, thinking they finna go to Atlanta and get a W. I think Georgia Tech is going to handle Notre Dame, and it's going to look like Georgia Tech just came out there to play, and they more than likely they might out execute Notre Dame. Cause I feel like Notre Dame is going to take this game lightly. I just told you Georgia Tech only giving up 103 rushing yards per game. But they allowing a nasty 21 points per game, though. I don't like that neither. Now, I do have a little iffiness about the Georgia Tech defense now that I see they allowing 21 points per game. But I'm still going to pick them. I'm still going to rock out who I said. My boy Hayes King coming into this game with 1,568 passing yards on the year, 8 touchdowns, 1 INT. 62 carries, 353 rushing yards, and 6 rushing touchdowns, 5.7 yards per carry. And Jamal Haynes, 96 carries, 536 rushing yards, 7 touchdowns, and 5.6 yards per carry. Like I say, both of these teams, their strengths down there even up with each other, down there mirror each other. So the same thing I was saying about Georgia Tech defense being prepared for Riley Leonard, I can say the same thing for Notre Dame defense being prepared for Hayes King. They see the same quarterback, other than Hayes King can throw that ball a little bit. If you feel me, he take his time in making his reads the correct way. Hayes King ain't no slouch. So I'm picking Georgia Tech for this win. And I don't know if they gonna cover. Well, I'm picking Georgia Tech outright, just say it like that. But with that being said, you feel me, that's my picks for week 8. So y'all boys, show me some love. Comment how y'all feel about my picks, or who would y'all pick? You feel me? Let me know that too in the comments. Like, share, subscribe. You feel me? It's all about you. And your boy DP is out. Deuces.